Okay, so welcome back. We'll talk very briefly about the test. The results were quite good on this second test. In addition to handing back the test, I also gave you a little snapshot, a little piece of paper that tells you what your current averages are and all the things that I grade. Some of you guys really benefited from the way the grading system is set up, in that if you did better on test 2 than quiz 2, then I replaced your quiz 2 grade with your test grade. And if you did better on test 2 than test 1, then I replaced your test 1 grade with this test 2 grade. So some of you guys have like the same numbers going across your quiz and test average, and it's whatever you just got because of the way the grading policy is set up. So well done if you did well. So today we start packet 3. This is the last packet that I will hand you for the semester. I've also handed you QEF 3. It's the last QEF that I'll hand you for the semester. And unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure these are the last handouts I will give you at any point this semester. But let's go ahead and start here at the top with the objective. Can we go to Dwight? Dwight, the objective.
In this lesson, we use descriptive properties as needed to simplify that involve like terms and numbers. We also solve multiple.
Okay, thank you. So let's start with number 1. We'll do 2 demos together, and then you guys will work in your groups. So the first one says simplify this thing. So what we're going to do is apply a property that some of you have been trying to apply all semester, and some of you have been doing it successfully, and that's fine. But for the first time together as a class, we talk about the distributive property. And the distributive property applies when you have a number on the outside of parentheses, and inside the parentheses is addition and or subtraction. And so what this distributive property says is that this 3 comes in and multiplies by the 7 and multiplies by the 2x. It distributes through. But I'm going to say things slightly differently than I just said. I'm going to say it's a negative 3 out here that's going to come in and hit both of these terms. So let's give this a shot. So first thing we'll do is copy the first term. The 4x is sitting there and it has nothing to do with what's about to happen. We know that multiplication takes priority, so that's why the 4x has to wait. Okay, then we're doing negative 3 times positive 7, negative 21. Then we're doing negative 3 times negative 2x. It's positive 6x. Right? Negative, yeah, 3 times 2. Negative 3 times negative 2. That's it. That's all the new stuff for today. So if you just got that, great. But if you missed it, then we need to get it. Again, it's the negative 3. Grab that sign, multiply it by every single term in the parentheses, and write down what you get. And then we just have to combine terms here. So what do we get when we combine the x's? 10x minus 21. That's our final answer. Okay, let's take a look at number 2. What's the difference between 1 and 2? There's an equal sign in number 2. 2 is an equation. Equations are to be solved. Number 1, we didn't solve anything. We just simplified, right? Okay, so let's solve this equation. So the first step is to clean up the whole mess that we have because of all these parentheses. So we're going to distribute. The first one has a negative 3 on the outside, multiplying by both of those terms. I think it's probably a good idea to write these kind of curvy things in here just so you really see that the number in front hits every term in the parentheses. So the next one is a positive 5. Notice I circled the plus sign too. It's going to come in and hit the x and the 2. And then on the other side, what number are you circling? Negative 3, thank you. And it's going to come in and hit the 2 and the minus x. So let's do this together very carefully. Negative 3 times 4x. Negative 12. Just negative 12? Negative 12x. Negative 3 times negative 2 is what? 6. I want you to say something in front of the 6. Positive 6. So if you say positive or negative every time, you'll get the signs right. And getting those signs right is one of the issues involved with this distributive property. Okay, we're done with the first part. Now we're hitting the 5 with everything in the next parentheses. Positive 5 times x is, say, first thing I want to hear you say is either positive or negative. So positive 5x. Positive 5 times positive 2 is positive 10. That's the left-hand side. Copy the equals. Copy the 14. It's just waiting there for you to do the multiplication first. And then we're going to take that negative 3 and multiply it by everything in the parentheses. Negative 3 times 2. Negative 6. Negative 3 times negative x. Negative 3 is positive 3x. Right? Negative 3 times negative x. Okay, that's it with the distributive property there. What do we need to copy at the end? The plus x, right? So just make sure that everything that was up there originally gets brought down. Okay, and again, that's everything that's new for today. So here's a question I could have put on the test. This is an old kind of problem now that we've gotten rid of that distributive idea. So we'll combine terms, negative 7x there, plus 16 there. Over there, I've got, what, 8 plus 4x? I'm going to add the 7x to both sides because I like things to be positive. Next thing is to subtract what? Subtract the 8. And then finally divide by 11. Any questions on that one? Questions? No, fractions are almost always better than decimals. If you write a decimal for this one, I mean, the decimal here doesn't end. And so you'd have to write like the bar on top, or you'd have to cut it off somewhere, and then it's not exactly the right answer. Fractions are better. Okay, classwork follows. I'll put the flags out, so let me know if I can help, and let's see if we can get through the classwork.